What if I told you there was one legal move you could make right now that might save you millions in a future divorce? Today, I'm sharing the strategy the ultra-wealthy use to protect their assets, and why you should consider it too, regardless of your net worth. For 14 years, Christina Haynes lived in a $22 million London mansion with her multi-millionaire partner. They had 2 children, luxury cars, and neighbors like the Beckhams and Richard Branson. When they split in 2018, she discovered she wouldn't get a penny from their family home. Why? Because her partner, Mark Austin, had placed everything in trusts before their relationship began. Today, I'll explain how this strategy works, and why it might be the most important financial move you never knew you needed. The harsh reality is that 50% of marriages end in divorce, and the financial fallout can be devastating. But there's a legal shield that can protect what you've worked hard to build. Establishing a trust before getting married. This isn't just for millionaires. Anyone with assets they want to protect should consider this strategy. Here's how it works. Assets placed in properly structured trusts before marriage are typically considered separate property, not marital assets. The key word here is before. Timing is everything. Christina's partner had placed his wealth and properties in offshore trusts before their relationship. When they split after 14 years, the High Court ruled she had no legal claim to their home, despite documents she believed guaranteed her rights. As Mark coldly told her after their breakup, "You've just become another file on my desk." Let me break down why trusts are so effective. First, they create legal separation between you and your assets. You benefit from them without technically owning them. Second, they allow for control without ownership. You can manage the assets while the trust itself owns them. Third, they offer protection that prenups can't always guarantee, as prenups can be challenged in court. Fourth, depending on the structure, trusts may offer significant tax benefits as well. Now, this isn't just for the ultra-wealthy. Consider these everyday scenarios. Say you've built a small business before meeting your spouse. By placing it in a trust, you ensure it remains intact regardless of your personal life. Or perhaps you've inherited a family home with sentimental value. A trust can keep it in your family lineage no matter what happens in your marriage. Maybe you have investments you've carefully built over years. Protecting them in a trust means you won't lose half of everything you worked for before meeting your spouse. I know what you're thinking. This sounds unromantic and maybe even untrusting. But consider what Christina Haynes now advises after her experience. Seek independent legal advice. If your partner loves you as much as they claim, they won't have a problem with you doing that. In fact, they'll support you because it's the right thing to do. Think of it like insurance. You don't buy car insurance because you plan to crash. You buy it for protection if something unexpected happens. The key is transparency and mutual respect. In fact, open conversations about financial protection often strengthen relationships by establishing clear expectations from the beginning. So how do you get started? First, consult with the team at Liberty Mundo who specialize in asset protection and trusts, not just any lawyer. This is specialized knowledge that requires real expertise. Second, establish the trust before marriage or serious commitment. Remember, timing is crucial. Once you're married, it's typically too late to shield pre-existing assets. Third, maintain proper documentation and avoid commingling funds after marriage. Keep clear records of what belongs to the trust versus jointly acquired assets. Fourth, be transparent with your partner about your financial protection strategy. This isn't about deception, it's about clarity. Christina's story highlights a critical warning. What she thought were binding legal documents turned out to be meaningless. She was taken to Liechtenstein to sign papers that she believed would protect her financial future. The court later ruled this trip was merely an elaborate performance, designed to make her feel secure while actually providing no legal protection. Her reality after the split? Selling luxury cars, diamonds, and designer handbags just to pay bills. The mansion became what she called a bona fide nightmare she could no longer afford to maintain. Had she understood the legal implications of her unmarried status and the trust arrangements, she might have insisted on clearer legal protections before investing 14 years in the relationship. While protecting assets is prudent, relationships still require trust and good faith. The goal isn't to disadvantage a partner, but to create clarity about what happens if the relationship ends. Consider balanced approaches like creating mutual protection strategies or including provisions for partners who contribute non-financially through childcare or career sacrifices. This isn't just about marriage either. As Christina discovered, long-term partnerships without marriage can leave you even more vulnerable. People think if you're with someone for 10 years, 20 years, it means something, she warns. But in the eyes of the law, it doesn't. The law doesn't recognize emotional investment or years of support. It recognizes legal structures. By establishing a trust before marriage, you create a clear legal boundary around certain assets that can withstand even the most contentious splits. This isn't about planning for failure. It's about responsible financial planning. Just as you wouldn't drive without insurance hoping never to crash, you shouldn't enter marriage without protecting assets you've worked hard to build. The bottom line? That one thing, establishing a trust before marriage, could be the difference between financial security and starting over if your relationship ends. It's a step that requires foresight and sometimes difficult conversations. But as Christina Haynes' story demonstrates, the alternative can be far more painful. Whether you're entering a first marriage with significant assets or rebuilding after a previous relationship, consider this strategy not as a lack of faith, but as insurance for your financial future, whatever it may hold. After all, the best time to protect yourself is before you need protection. Don't wait until you're already in the midst of a relationship breakdown to wish you had taken this one crucial step.